No.
I was just waiting for it.
All right. Hey, everybody. We're actually here to do a very special review of. Turn it to. There you go. Batman the Killing Joke. And we got everybody here today. Of course, you know I'm Jason.
I'm Jamal.
I'm Rowan.
I'm Doug.
And that's all of us here. We're actually going to film this review and then actually do our weekly episode. So let's get started. Of course, this is probably one of the most anticipated DC movies they've ever done, based off one of the most influential comics. And boy, was it a big disappointment. It just, think out of everybody here, Jamal here was the only one that actually liked it, and that says something about the movie.
Was I the only one that read the comic, or
No,
I think we've all pretty much read the comics before.
I read it.
I mean, I'm the one that didn't. I didn't read the comics.
Oh, okay. So you haven't actually read The Killing Joke before.
Right.
Okay.
No, you and me both.
Okay.
I didn't read the Killing Joke. I read The Long Halloween, and it had
Okay.
elements of what was in there, doing with the Joker's origin story.
I see it. Okay.
That's kind of like, I didn't read Moby Dick, but I heard my friend talk about it, so I know exactly what's in it. I am derelict in my duties. I need to make you guys read this book.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you're the comic guy. And,
I have it.
You
It's
feel
easily
shame.
attainable.
Shame.
I got it.
Shame. So anyway, just basically back to actually what we're going to do, just kind of everybody's going to go around, talk about what they liked about the movie, general thoughts, then we'll go into the many numerous bad things about the movie, and then kind of just give it a final score at the end. So I'll start off, really pretty much just mirroring what everybody I think is going to say about this movie. The last 25-30 minutes, the parts that are actually the comic, were phenomenal. It was great. The rest, not so much. And we'll delve into a lot of the bad points later. But that was, for me, that was about the only good part, was the actual Killing Joke parts. We'll go, Duck, you go next. Just kind of go with what you liked about it.
The voice acting is straight on point. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill did some of the best work they've ever done. They own the roles. They know the roles. Tara Strong's a great Batgirl. All the voices are great. The animations, on the most part, it's pretty good. But it's really the last 25 minutes. It's really what you're there for. And that part's done very well.
Rowan?
I have to agree with Duck. The same thing. Like, voice acting was definitely just phenomenal to me. Like, I honestly didn't know. Like, I knew Mark Hamill was the Joker. He plays it very well. Kevin Conroy, yes, definitely plays Batman very well. Tara Strong, I didn't know that she was gonna play Batgirl until I actually saw it in the credits, because I was like, the voice sounds familiar, but I was like, who is this? And then,
She's done Batgirl for a long time.
I say, thinking a lot of movies and everything, she's pretty much been Batgirl.
Yeah.
okay.
Whenever they do the DC Super Friends short
Yeah.
with
that was
Supergirl,
okay.
Wonder Girl, and Batgirl, that's Tara Strong.
Okay.
Tara Strong is in the Injustice video game. Pretty much any time that you see Batgirl.
Kind of like Kevin Conroy the Batman. Just about.
Kind of, but Batgirl's not used nearly as
Yeah.
well.
But either way, all the voice actors that did the particular characters, they were on point. I fairly enjoyed them. The animation, yeah, it wasn't like anything super great, but it wasn't terrible.
It seemed to get jump around in quality.
That's
there was
another thing to say, like, especially during the last end where some of the quality is higher, especially
Yeah.
from the beginning.
Yeah, I did notice that too. And then as far as like the story, like, yes, the Killing Joke part, I thoroughly enjoyed that. That part was great. Beginning part, I was not sure what I was watching, but
Alright, so Jamal.
According to everyone else was saying, animation was very good. It felt like the allusion sort of to the Dark Knight, not Dark Knight, the Batman the animation, cartoon animation,
The animated series.
Yeah.
animated series. It felt like an evolution of that, so I really liked that. So it had all the original recitals from that series. Like I said, I was the one that didn't read the comics, so the first part felt like it was trying to lead up to something, and it was kind of cool to say like it was Batgirl's just still doing her it's for the fun type of thing. And then I thought the bad guy in that one was Paris France. I thought he was going to be somehow related to the Joker, and then
They really gave that vibe.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then
it
it
did.
was it like he kind of was like a mini Joker, or kind of had some kind of psychotic thing like the Joker, but he wasn't the Joker. And I was
Yeah.
like, what happened to this dude? You know?
It really felt like they were trying to make him like Batgirl's Joker.
Yeah. So I thought that was going to be like a case, like it was going to be her like, you know, constant struggle between this dude, and I was like, that would have kind of been cool, but I don't know. It was still stupid. I mean, I kind of accepted it because I just thought it was going somewhere, and then it led kind of nowhere. What I was gonna say, it was yeah, the killing joke part. It was fine. I really like that part.
So pretty much, I think very synonymous to what just about everybody has said about this movie.
And their
It-
moms.
yeah, and it's that when it gets to the actual killing joke part, it's like a whole different movie in terms of how good it is.
Yes.
I mean, it is very good, very worth watching.
Very faithful.
Yes,
Yeah.
very faithful, yes. And it's just that beginning part. It just, I mean, to me, it drags the whole movie down to a point that even when it gets to the killing joke, it just doesn't get out the hole. It just dug itself so deep that it just never gets out of it.
It doesn't make sense to
Yeah.
because it's like as you said, it's filler. It has nothing really to do with the killing joke, because yeah, there is a part where Barbara or Batgirl is in it, but it has nothing to do with all of what happened in the beginning part. Like, it's just there for no reason.
I'm gonna echo what I've heard someone else say. If you're going to add something to it, you're going to change something, at least let it add to the source material.
Yes.
And this doesn't do that.
It, to me, watching that beginning part, it felt like what they were trying to do was to have us, vested in Batgirl, to where when what happens to her happens, that it's more meaningful in the terms of this movie. Because let's face it, in the actual killing joke parts of it, she's not really there. It's
Yeah.
just with what happens to her, and then that's about it.
Yeah, she's very minimal. In
Yeah, and my thought is the reason they did what they did was to make her character more meaningful.
well, it's supposed to.
But
help
it just
people
it
who-
failed so bad.
It's supposed to help people who've never read it.
Yeah.
Or people who don't know much about Batgirl. And if you're gonna do that, you gotta make her mean something.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like they tried to do. Yeah, I mean, there could have been so many different ways they could have handled this.
Yeah, I mean, you can't make anyone feel vested in the character in how long that part was, 30 minutes.
It was. I mean, the whole movie was about 120, about an hour and 20 minutes,
Yeah.
give or take. Yeah,
15 about.
and you got about 25, 30 minutes of that was the actual killing joke.
Yeah.
The rest of it was
over
the
half of
filler.
it. Over half of it is
Filler.
this startup point,
Yeah.
which has, as far as I know, no bearing on any of the comics in there. I don't recall anyone named Paris France in the comics. Never, I don't recall it. It could be wrong.
Even that part in the movie where it was like, Batman was like, it's a guy, it's Paris France. And Marv was like, really? Paris France? Like, that's
Yeah.
a legal name. Are you kidding? Like, is this filler? Like, seriously?
Yeah, it's.
Because I'm sure she was feeling the same way.
I mean, I gave a pass for Victor Freeze, but Paris France?
Yeah.
Can we say how spectacularly bad Barbara's gay best friend is? And
God, it's
so bad.
It's literally like watching a stereotype.
yeah.
It
I mean,
Is-
that's
is
how
that- is-
bad it was.
is that like a gay version of blackface now?
Probably, yeah, because it was just
face.
awful. Gay face. There we go.
Yeah, gay face.
Gay face.
Every stereotype for a gay man that there is.
Oh God, it was.
It was awful.
It was.
It was almost hilarious to watch it, and I mean,
It wasn't even cringeworthy bad. It was that so bad you can't
it
help
was
but.
so tone deaf.
Oh, it was.
It was like
Oh,
it's like someone who's never met a gay person
yeah.
wrote a gay person.
It's what like people think gay
Like,
people are
I've
like.
seen Will and Grace 7 times. I know how gay people act. This is
Yeah.
how they act.
Yeah.
100%.
It was
Right,
horrible.
write it, print it, I reviewed it already. Don't even.
Yeah.
No,
It
I don't
was-
need to look at it
It's
anymore.
that funny. It's just,
It was.
I
It was
have
bad.
struck gold.
Yeah.
Gay gold.
And then of course, I mean, it goes without saying that if you've read any of the reviews about this movie, the sex scene.
The very minute sex scene that doesn't even show really anything.
It
except
doesn't-
just Barbara's bra.
Okay,
It comes
yeah.
out of really like
Yeah,
next to nowhere. There's
Yeah, there's no.
there's slight build up to it, like Barbara's kind of attracted to the danger of Batman being with Batman.
She's attracted to Batman, not Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I mean,
It was.
there's no
There's,
build.
there's
It's
nothing
just like
for it.
It's literally like an announcer, like out of left field.
Yeah.
There's a sex scene.
it's,
Sad.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like a teenage fanfic.
It is.
It's like
And on
And
top of that, it was like, okay, the movie is rated R. Somehow, some way, this movie is rated R. We watched
well,
it.
it's rated R for violence, and though it
And, like-
does blatantly reference that Barbara Gordon is sexually assaulted by the Joker.
it does. Yes.
Yes.
That's why it's rated R.
well, also like people get shot like on
In
screen.
in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Killed on
But
screen.
I mean,
But to
my-
me, it's like I can watch cable TV and see more violence than this.
yeah.
Spoilers, by the way.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
And then on top
Well,
of that,
we're not really saying who.
yeah. But then on top of that, the sex scene that really isn't much of anything. It's like you might as well just call it something stupid, but not a sex scene. The
And then
sex scene is like you see stuff, you see them actually doing it or something.
It
Or
was.
at
It
least
was.
give something.
It was. It was. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think
Yeah.
it was more like it was. It was said that they had sex. Like
yeah.
If
Well,
they just said and
well,
they had sex.
it
on
actually,
screen,
it
and that
actually
would've
does say that
it,
later
they
in the
did, yes.
movie.
She
Utters
Ugh.
the line, "It was just sex," with the amount of conviction as somebody a teenage girl who skipped class, who goes, "It was just banned."
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's very much cringeworthy writing in this beginning part of the movie, and like I mentioned earlier, for me, it digs such a deep hole that even when it gets to the good parts, it does not get out of that hole. And I hate that because it's anybody. I mean, it's the Killing Joke. I mean, when this was first announced, can anybody say they weren't incredibly excited?
Hell yeah, I was excited
I
about
mean,
it.
some people shit their pants.
I was probably halfway there. There was a little bit of seepage.
We talked one thing that was really weird. Well, maybe it's just me.
the singing. The singing.
No.
That was
That's part of the book. That's
it's in there, but it is still weird.
Okay.
But
It's weird to hear it in.
the Batman design in the Killing Joke
Okay.
looks really weird.
Yeah. It
His proportions are very
Off.
off.
It-
Very
it's-
off. Like his head
yeah.
is very small. The points on his shoulders.
did Rob Mayfield do it?
No, he has feet and he has hands. Also, he didn't have boobs. So,
Yeah.
but it's a redesign of the original costume that didn't really need to be done,
Yeah.
and it just his chin looks weird.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't
I
notice
agree
all
with
that.
you. It was kind of off.
It was off. like terrible, but it was awful.
I can tell it wasn't the animated series version of it, but it didn't look off to me.
It kind of goes to what we kind of briefly mentioned earlier, where just some of the animation quality jumps around.
Yeah.
You know, at some point you can tell it's very good quality, just like what we've come to expect out of these DC movies. And then at some points it's like, is this fan made? You know,
Well,
Switching-
I mean,
switching
honestly, when you
animators
find
together.
some fan-made stuff, it looks really good.
yeah. So, but I mean, I think that pretty much covers it. You know, does anybody have anything they wanted to add?
Mark Hamill should do the Joker that he dies.
I agree with that. He is.
Yeah.
He's definitely the voice of the Joker.
I mean, you can't think of the Joker and how he sounds without either thinking of Heath Ledger or Mark
Yeah.
Hamill. And that just all depends on what you started with.
Yeah.
Well, even still, he's so iconic at it because he's done it more than anybody else.
How about this? Is there any other Joker voices that you might like?
The Joker voices?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Should we save it for this while we're reviewing, or just do it?
We'll go into that later.
Okay.
We'll go into that when we go into our DC talk, which will be after we
I can only
finish
think
with
of two
this.
other Joker voices.
Well,
There's a
what
lot.
about in the other here?
The next part?
Yeah, next
Okay.
When we're done with this, you know, we're going to do our weekly episodes,
Yeah.
so we'll go into a lot of that after that.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree. Mark Hamill, just forever be the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, forget Star Wars, forget being Luke Skywalker, just be the Joker.
Yep.
I mean, and that's coming from a Star Wars fan.
So you and I are both wearing Star Wars themed.
Yes, we are. Yes. So, but mine's better than yours. So,
Is this gonna be a separate video, or are you gonna have?
we're gonna go. Yeah, but so with that, now we're just gonna go around. Everybody give their rating of the movie out of 5. So we'll start.
2 out of 5. The last half hour is definitely worth watching. The rest is just such a slog. It's hard to give it anything.
Rowan.
2 out of 5. Same thing that Duck said.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
I kind of agree with them. A 2 out of 5. You know, if it wasn't for that first part, this could have been one of the best DC movies they've done. Pretty much would have been right up there with the best of them. So again, 2 out of 5 for me. Jamal.
I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, only because I haven't read the book and I felt like it was going somewhere. I mean, you know, if it had something to do with the original, any other villain, it would have been a little bit better. But since it was still fun to watch, I'll say it's still fun to watch.
All right.
Now we do have to mention that this is the poorest reviewed DC animated movie
Yes.
there has ever been.
It was, I think the last I saw was like 29% on Rotten Tomatoes.
At one time it was as high as 45,
Okay.
but it's still putting up better than Suicide Squad and
BBS. Yeah. It is definitely, I would agree, probably overall the worst DC animated movie
Wait, this
that I've
is
watched.
doing better than BBS?
Yeah.
In terms of a Rotten Tomatoes score, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, both BBS and Suicide Squad are low 20s.
Well,
Compared to
Suicide
this.
Squad is like 26.
Wow.
So it's gone up. Because I saw it as low as like 23 and
I think
24.
BBS had a lowest 27.
Okay. So, but anyway, that's our review of The Killing Joke. We'll get this up there shortly, and then we'll, next time you see us, we'll be in about 10 seconds when we do our Peeps on the Couch episode for this week. So, with that, we'll see you shortly. Thank you.